make this decoration, I've got 2 soft drink boxes, and the reason why I've got 2 is because, as you can see on this one, it's got perforated edges, so I can't use this side. So all I'm going to be doing is taking the box and I'm going to be cutting it along the top and down the sides so that I can use this side and the base, and I'm going to do that on both boxes. I've got the piece of cardboard cut out that I want, and now I'm just taking the base and folding it over, and then what you want to do is measure in from the base 4 centimeters. It doesn't matter which side you measure it, just as long as you're going up by 4 centimeters. So just marking that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be cutting triangles out. So cutting to the line. When you're cutting them, make sure that you leave about 1 centimeter in between before you cut the next one. And then just cut along the whole base of the box. So your box should look like this. Now I'm going to be opening it out, and I'm going to take a ruler and where it is on the line where you've cut, you're just going to score that. I'm just using a pair of scissors to score this. And then holding the ruler tight against the box, just bend it up. So it's like that. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So your box is like that. I'm just using a rolling pin to do this. Now when you get your cardboard, it's preferable if you can get the ridges that are going in that direction so that you get a nice clean run. If you're going in the opposite direction, you're going to get really chunky. On the larger side of my box, I'm measuring from the end of the box in by 6 centimeters. And then just drawing a line. And all I'm going to be doing now is putting some odd shapes in. So just drawing some shapes, and then I'm going to cut them out. I've cut all my random shapes out, and now what I'm doing is on the other box where I've marked it the 6 centimeter line, I'm placing this one on top of that and lining the 6 centimeter line up like that, and then I'm going to trace the exact same pattern onto this box and then cut those ones out. I've cut my pieces out, and as you can see they all slot into each other just like that. And now you can paint it whatever colour that you want. My colour scheme for this year is blue and silver, so I'm going to be painting both pieces of my cardboard black first. I've painted them black and the paint is dry, and now I'm going to be using this Super Chrome spray paint to just spray paint them. I've got the silver on them, and the coverage is very nice. Now I'm just going to wait for those to dry. The paint is all dry and I'm just taking a wee sponge and dabbing it into ultramarine deep acrylic paint, and then I'm just going to be dabbing it onto my piece all over. You can put as much or as little, so that's all I'm going to be doing, so it's not too dark in blue. And then just do the whole thing, do both of them. I've got blue glitter paint, which I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing by putting it on my sponge and then just sponging it on, just to give it a little bit of a sparkle to it. I've got the glitter paint on. You can't see it actually on the camera, but it does give it just a wee tiny bit of a sparkle. All my paint is dry and I sprayed just this small section in the front on the opposite side. And now what I'm going to do is just on this section that's got the spikes on, I'm going to be putting some hot glue there and gluing it all together. Now we can glue the other side closed. I've got a closed bag that I'm going to be using to just help me hold it all in place. I've got some curling ribbon and just some of the silver ribbon that you get out of the Christmas package of ribbons, and I'm taking 1/2 meters of each of those. I've just folded the ribbon in half, so I've got long dangly pieces at the end, and now I'm going to be putting it in the center. Just taking it and then going to just tie that. I've got this diamante ribbon and I'm going to be cutting it a bit shorter because this one comes in strands of 6. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting at 18 centimeters long, and I'm cutting one piece that's got 2 and the other one that's got 1, and I'm going to be gluing them on. So I'm not going all the way around the back because that's where it's going to be glued to the box. So I've started them just 6 centimeters from the bottom underneath, and I've just wrapped them around. I've got 9.9 meters of these tiny little fairy lights, which I'm now going to be putting on. So I'm threading it up the middle. I've threaded my lights up through the middle and I've wound them around 3 times so that I've got a little bit of light showing on the top there. I'm going to glue one of the flowers that we made out of the foil just over there. And I'm using some of the silver ribbon and I'm going to be gluing that onto the edge just to finish it off nicely. I've got some white tulle from a previous project, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it on the inside. On a spare piece of cardboard, I've just placed my 2 halves on there, and now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be tracing around there, and I'm going to be cutting out so that I can glue these pieces to the cardboard, so I've got something to hang this with. I've got my cardboard cut out, and now I'm going to be gluing this one onto the cardboard so I can start working on the center decorations. I've got a 3-meter string of tinsel, and all I'm doing is I'm sticking some of it inside there, and I'm going to glue this all onto here. Now I want to have one that's short and one that's long, so I've made them to the length that I want. And now I'm going to be wrapping all the fairy lights around each of the tinsel legs. I put all my little fairy lights in, and now I can start putting the other decorations on. To hang my decoration up, I'm going to be using this really, really fine fishing tackle. You can just about see it, but that's it there. It's so fine, I don't think you'll see what I'm doing, but what I'm just doing is turning it round and round. So I'm going around 4 times and then pulling it tight. And hopefully that should be strong enough to hold it. I'm doing the same on the other side.